In today's lesson, we'll be learning how to connect English with mathematics and graphing lines. In our first example, we want to write the following phrase as a mathematical equation. 3 times a value decreased by 4 is 2. 3 times corresponds to multiply by 3. A value corresponds to a variable. We are going to use the variable of x. You can use the variable of y if you want. Decreased by 4 corresponds to subtract 4. Is corresponds to an equal sign, and 2 corresponds to just the number 2. If I put together all of these things, I get 3 times a value decreased by 4 is equal to 2. In our second example, we want to write the following phrase as a mathematical equation. Half of a value decreased by 7 is 1. Half of corresponds to multiply by 1 over 2. A value corresponds to a variable. I'm going to use the variable of x. You can use y. Decreased by 7 corresponds to subtract 7. Is corresponds to an equal sign. And 1 corresponds to just the number 1. Therefore, when I put all of these things together, I get half of a value decreased by 7 is 1. In our last example, we want to write the following phrase as a mathematical equation. One number is 5 times larger than 2 more than a second number. One number corresponds to a variable. I'm going to use the variable of x. Is corresponds to an equal sign. 5 times larger corresponds to a multiply by 5. 2 more corresponds to plus 2. A second number corresponds to another variable which we are going to call y. Therefore, when you put all of these things together, you get one number is 5 times larger than 2 more than a second number. The 2 can come before the y or after the y, it doesn't really matter.